Alright guys, Subscribe back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News and a big day of action yesterday in the North American side. Sentinels up against Optic, crazy series, lots of implications here for what the future of Sentinels might be, especially given their coach is no longer part of their roster. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Almost at 10,000 subscribers, just absolutely love to see it. Thank you for all the support the last few days. Firstly, just some BBG real quick, because of course B for a team, other roster stuff going on as well. This also just for the TSM sides. Here lies TSM Valorant haters. They've been looking pretty good as of late, right, in these kind of Mickey Mouse online tournaments. We shall see if that continues over time. But they, of course, are trying their best to get back into challenges in North America for Season 2, and definitely been looking better as of late. They beat 100 Thieves, of course, and 100 Thieves will play it later on today. We'll look at the schedule for tonight's matches right at the end of the video. But well, many interesting and important matches to discuss before we get to that point. Firstly, on the Sentinels front, Raucus, who of course was brought in as their coach before Champions, I believe. He was on FaZe, they didn't qualify for Champions. Then, well, he actually goes to coach Sentinels for a time. And the question was there, is Raucus going to be there permanently? Like, does he want to go into coaching full time? Does he want to go back to being a player? Like, what's going on the Sentinels front? Because seemingly he hasn't really said all that much on the timeline over these last couple of weeks about coaching this team. You would have thought that this is the perfect time for Raucus to get involved in the coaching, like keep these guys sharp, right, in terms of their tactics and their strategies, because that really is something against their series against Optic last night. There's most people said, look, that's where they fell short. Optic would just seem to be way more prepared in terms of what they brought to the table than what Sentinels had, where like Sentinels in general play quite of a puggy style. They have incredible raw gun skill and aim and mechanics, but like when it comes to playing a team that's actually very tactically adept, they tend to fall short. And I mean, especially playing some of the European teams they're going to have to play if they make it through to Masters, then I mean, look, the European teams generally are very tactically orientated. They're not just going to kill you with gun skill, they're going to kill you with incredible executes and stuff, and Sentinels in general, I think, kind of lacked that in yesterday's series. We'll have a look at it, of course, in a second, but maybe an actual coach coming into the team would help in that sense, because, well, Raucus maybe hasn't been able to add that, especially because he's kind of been dealing with contract situations. So as he describes, 2 days after the LCQ had the opportunity to coach for Sentinels, I took that offer immediately without thinking twice. They kind of worked out an agreement to borrow. It was too big. I don't really know what the situation was there. But as he says, he's now technically back on FaZe again, and despite he wanted to come over and coach full-time for the Sentinels lineup, hasn't happened, and I guess therefore they haven't had a coach for quite a while. They don't have a coach as it is right now. He also says that, well, technically he's back on FaZe looking for a team as a player, right? So I guess Raucus is going to come back as a player. Interesting stuff, going to try and leave, get a buyout, I don't know. Probably finds himself in a bit of a tough spot, to be honest. If Sentinels couldn't pay his buyouts, then it's going to be difficult to see another team making a similar thing happen. But again, that does of course leave Sentinels in a bit of a predicament that they need a coach more than likely, especially when you look at the series. So let's dive into this series then. Sentinels versus Optic Gaming. Very exciting one. Like, well, two top, right, like where the Optic and Sentinels match up. Optic, of course, lost to Rise not too long ago either, but on the map they won it pretty comfortably indeed. Especially this game one here on the binds. Like, I mean, Optic at this point were already up 6-0, and it was just domination from start to finish. Like, this was not even close, right? When you're up 6-0 and you have a flawless round, you just know you're winning the map without too much issue. Like, yeah, the offensive side for Sentinels, everyone's on their own, everyone's just getting gunned down. That's the thing, really, the way the Sentinels play the game. It just seems like a lot of the time, they're playing a lot of single fights, they're just using their raw gun skill, their raw aim, their raw mechanics, which certainly is there and certainly does exist, but against a well-drilled team like Optic, it's rarely going to work out on a T side. When Optic were on the offense as well, they closed the game up pretty comfortably. I mean, yeah, 13-2, that's the thing, like, it was almost 13-0, right, the way that 100 Thieves got beaten by the guard not too long ago, and they made a roster change as a result of it. I think there was some memes, right, coming out from the Sentinels Twitter account, like, us calculating how many roster changes we have to make based on how many rounds we lose. But yeah, 13-2, but that was not a pretty first map for the Sentinels side. In fairness to Sentinels, they did bounce back. They won the Fracture, they won a lot of ecos and pistol rounds to make it happen. That's the thing, like, it seems like when Sentinels are winning a map against a top team, it's because they're winning a lot of these ecos and kind of pistols and stuff. And in fairness, Zombs was a monster this game. He went up, we'll look at the stats here after the series, but in game 3 though, because on this final map in Icebox, it was Optic who ran away with it really. Once they got onto the defensive side, it felt like it was all over. 13-9, I believe they closed it out. This is a fantastic round as well here from Ye, actually. I'll just share it on screen because, I mean, look at this flick. Flicks up to kill the first guy. Second shot was instant with the chamber, and then finishes off the round with a headhunter as well. But so yeah, plenty of moments like this. Up 9-5 at this point, up 10-5 at this point. Close out the series as well. And yeah, not bad at all. Like, Optic, it felt like, despite losing the Fracture, were quite comfortable in this series against Sentinels. Of course, that now leaves both the teams at 2-1, which, of course, yes, the top 4 teams qualify. They should both be confident to qualify for the playoffs. But on this form, Sentinels are going to have a hard time qualifying. Played a fantastic series and bounced back very well from the Rise defeat they had right at the start. FNS tweets this out because I'm a bit of a pastor, I think I saw, after seeing Optic play like this. Amazing strats, spectacular trading, brilliant post plants, incredibly clutch plays round after round. So yes, Optic definitely played very well, but yeah, Sentinels fell somewhat short of expectations. Shazam says we tossed some pretty important rounds, gotta clean it up for next time, and that's what some people say. Look, Raucus is gone as the coach, maybe hasn't been really involved with the coaching for quite some time. Like, they probably need someone, right? Like, I think it's MCE, maybe he's been doing a pretty good job with the guards. Like, at the end of the day, if you lose both pistols, like, is that necessarily unlucky, right? You just not hit the shots, right? Like, that's the thing. Obviously, winning pistols is a pretty big deal, but still, it's not necessarily unlucky, right? I don't know. Like, that's just my perspective on a tweet like this. I think quite often players will play something down, we just got unlucky, but in reality, there was maybe better work to be done. I'm sure Zoms understands that, but just the way things sometimes come across in tweets isn't always how they really intended things. This is also from Yathan. There's always that shoulda, coulda, woulda won in certain situations, but yeah, Optic are comfortably the better squad, and as Tensaz lost against Optic 2-1, GG's then poor performance on my part, but GG go next. That's the thing, Tensaz had his moments, right, in terms of individual mechanics with the jet knives and the operator in certain situations, but often was finding himself in a spot where he was just getting bowled over by utility and great team play from the Optic front. These were the overall stats right here, so 2-1 Optic over the course of the series. Technically, in terms of ELO rankings, we've got Sentinels higher than Optic right now, but well, certainly I imagine that could change relatively soon. 13-2 on Binds, that was Domination Nation. I mean, Victor 21 in 9, yeah, didn't even have to do all that much on the chamber. Then Fracture 30-10, Zoms does go to a 27 and 16, actually was the final scoreline, like at plus 11, which I guess is where I got the 11 deaths from initially. But I mean, yeah, he was out of control, but in the game 3, back to normality at 9 and 15, and yeah, Crashes and co got the job done for the Optic boys. So yes, interesting series, no doubt. The final series of the day, if anything, was just crazy. Honestly, I love watching the guard play. These guys are so much fun to watch. Trent is honestly an absolute animal. It's unbelievable. I don't think, like, people are talking about Trent a lot, right? Don't get me wrong. People are saying a lot of good things about Trent right now. He has some crazy moments, but some maps he disappears. This guy, every single game is out of control. Like, the amount of plays he's making, obviously this 2-piece is pretty nice right here, but I mean, yeah, this guy is just fantastic. And well, the clips he makes, like the spray transfer with the Vandal, and I mean, yeah, this game 1, they're already up 1-0 at this point, but yeah, what a series from Trent especially. There were also plenty of moments from other players on the team as well, but at this point the guard are up 1-0, they almost got up 2-0, but Exeter do manage to bounce back, then it goes to a game 3, but the game 3 was just absolutely dominant. I mean, look at this, right, like Trent, look at this 3-piece here on the Fracture, like, well, I'll just go back to the start so you guys can see it again. Look at this, he's holding an angle here with the Vandal, people come around the corner, that's an easy 3k, 1, 2, 3, no problem at all, job done, and then the no-scope from Net, of course, with the orb. Like, it's just unbelievable, right, what these guys are capable of. Like, Exed were considered to be a pretty damn solid team coming into this, but yeah, the guard just make light work of them, especially on this Fracture, and just, wow, what a performance. As Trent says from the guard, GG's to them, always a good fight, 3-0 so far in challenges. Like, the guard, who's gonna stop the guard right now? Like, it's just mind-blowing. Like, well, 2-1 over Exed. Like, look at Trent, over the course of it, 61 in 40, Valen right behind him as well, Sire player had his moments. Like, it's tough to credit these guys so much, and when Net is actually the bottom player on your team in terms of ACS, that's probably when you know you've had a fantastic series. And Exeter, despite looking so good, they fall short in this one. I mean, look at this. Trent, 22 in 10 game 1 on the Haven. Game 2, 24 in 19 on the Bind. Fracture, 15 in 11. Didn't really need to do all that much because the game was very short, 13-3. Like, this team is so exciting right now. They are 3-0 over in Group A, but Group B is now particularly spicy, right? Especially because the Knights victory they had a couple of days ago against Rise, that makes this group very hectic. So version 1 play NRG tonight. They, of course, if they win that, they go to 3-0 pretty comfortably. But Optic are now above Sentinels because they beat them, and also in terms of rounds 4 rounds against, Sentinels are just in the positive here after, well, a pretty tough run, especially on that game 1 they played up against Optic last night. So Sentinels still in a decent spot to qualify here, no doubt, but it's not so easy for them, and it's not just about qualifying, it's also qualifying with a good seed, so you get to play one of the easier teams theoretically from the other group, which right now, it's not going to be easy for them, right? And well, whoever the guard face in first round from this side is, well, they're going to have a tough matchup in that round 1. These then are the games for today. So 100 Thieves, they need to start out hot here against Luminosity. They're currently 0-2. 100 Thieves have to win this series with their new roster with Bang and JC Stani if they want to actually give this a go to make it through to challenges, and then version 1 NRG as we just discussed. But very much intrigued your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit a like button, tell the YouTube gods this is a good video. Others like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
Playing in Dish, and there's also 2 players doubled up in Tower. Very curious. This could be a full north side split.
They're going in, my goodness! It's a shooting range. It's open season on Sentinels.
They did not expect that at all, even though that was a
This team is so special.
They really are. They really, truly are. I can't put into words how impressed I am. And we get the grab. Well, you know, they're forward. They're just denying any advanced peaks here for the guard. They're getting so much pressure. That breach flash! Oh my god! Trent gets everybody! And there comes the quick little no-scope from Ned just to tie a nice little ribbon on